UAW President Shawn Fain rejecting the latest pay raise from Stellantis, the automaker calling the offer a compelling solution for protecting jobs at an idled Jeep plant in Illinois. The disagreement signaling, though, that the union and Detroit's Big Three are still pretty far from a deal 4 days into the strike. Bloomberg's David Welch joins us from Detroit. He's our bureau chief there and has been covering this very closely with his team. David, you know, we focus so much on the pay part of their demands, but the union has asked for a lot more than just a 36% pay increase at this point. They also want to bring back defined benefit pension plans, and I believe they're still sticking to a 4-day work week. What's the status of the demands from the UAW?
So look, they still want those things. The companies, if you look at their offers, that stuff's never in there, particularly the retiree stuff. They've even asked for retiree health care. Those are the two big ticket items that just weighed down the balance sheets of all three companies, played a role in driving GM and the former Chrysler into bankruptcy. Ford had to borrow $24 billion to stay out of bankruptcy. They're not going to do that. The companies will take a very long company-wide strike before they would agree to those, fixed retiree benefits. They are willing to move on pay, obviously. They're already up over 20%, and I think they'll continue to bump that, not interminably, but they will. That's something they can play with. But those other retiree benefits and a 32-hour work week, I don't think they'll budge on either one of those.
In terms of, the damage this could do to companies, when you think about handing out a 21% pay increase to so many tens of thousands of workers, you might worry that it bankrupts GM, Ford, and Stellantis. But they've done well, and it's not actually a huge part of the cost of a car, is it, labor?
No, I've seen estimates. It's somewhere between 5 and 10% is the cost of labor. There's a lot of other labor in there from the suppliers, but they wouldn't all be getting 20% raises. So, yeah, it will bring their costs up. It will bring their labor costs would definitely be uncompetitive with Toyota, Honda, Tesla, Hyundai and Kia. They'll be in a worse position. But there are two things. One, it's not the kind of money that bankrupts the companies. It eats into what are now very good profits. And two, these other companies, and we've seen Toyota do it over the years, they've had to raise compensation and improve benefits to keep the UAW out of their plants. You can't be at a $5, $8 labor disadvantage versus a UAW contract and expect your workers to not maybe listen when a union organizer comes around. So union contracts do, and they have, raise all boats. Now, they've always stayed, something under what the UAW can get to maintain the advantage, these other companies. But they will end up having to pay more as well if they want to keep the UAW out of their factories.